Okay, so we've gotten to the point where we've been able to design the search destination panel, which is this place. Now the next thing we need to do is to apply some padding to our map. So the padding is very useful because Google doesn't allow you for any reason to cover the Google logo, and also we will be needing some of the map tools that is going to be showing somewhere around here. Somewhere around here actually, we need it to display here. So with the map padding, we can actually push out most of these things so that it can display on top of this particular panel without this panel covering it. So what the padding does is to simply push or adjust the center of the map, so we can apply some padding to the bottom or from the top to the left or to the right. So what I'm going to do will be to pull up the completed project so that we can see an example of what I'm talking about. So as you can see, the padding has been applied to this map and the center of the map is now here. So this allows the Google logo to display and the location button to also show up. So this is exactly what we need to do in this class. So without wasting any further time, let's get right into it. Now what I'm going to do will be to define a new variable. I'm going to call this variable map padding button. So the variable is going to be of the type of double. Okay, so here we have the variable. So as soon as our map has been created, I'm going to go ahead and update the map padding. So I'm going to use the set state to update the variable. Now the next thing I'm going to do will be to apply the padding to our Google map. So here I'm going to go ahead and say padding. I'm going to have edge insert dot only. So here I'm going to have bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and pass the new bottom padding that we just created as a variable. Now the next thing we need to do will be to assign an appropriate value to the padding. So we have to create this variable to allow us to change the padding at will. So let's say, for instance, as we proceed into the application, we might want to adjust the padding from 0 to 270, from 270 to 230. We can be able to do that. So as soon as our map has been created, so I'm going to go ahead and say map bottom padding will be equal to, say, 250. No, I think 290 will be very appropriate. So what I'm going to do will be to go ahead and restart our application so that we can see the padding being applied. Alright, so as you can see, we can now see the Google logo. So what this means is that our padding has been applied, but I think this is really far above where it's necessary, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce this a little bit. So I'm going to set this to 270, and I'm going to go ahead and restart our application, and bam, so this seems really good. So because we're actually building our app to target both Android and iOS, the next thing I want to do will be to go ahead and test our app on an Android device so that we can see how it looks. In case anything doesn't align appropriately, we can be able to adjust it both for Android and for iOS. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the application, and I'm going to launch my Android emulator. Alright, so just like we predicted, some things doesn't look so cool here on Android. So I think the height is just too much. We kind of need to adjust it for Android. And also the padding didn't allow the Google logo to show up. So to resolve the issue relating to the height of our search destination panel and our padding, we first of all need to check which platform we are running on, and we are going to assign a separate value to these variables. So what I'm going to do will be to go ahead and define a new variable. So this variable is going to contain the height of this particular panel. So I'm going to go to the top of the class. So I'm going to go ahead and define a new variable here. So I can easily call this variable search sheet height. So like I already explained, we are going to be assigning different values depending on the platform that we are running our application on. So currently the height of this sheet is 300 pixels. But what we want to do is to first of all check the platform which we are running on and assign a custom height depending on the platform. So to be able to do this, I'm going to first of all import that.io. So I'm going to have that.io. Alright, so here I can now go ahead and say if platform dot. So if the platform we are running our app is iOS, then the height is going to be 300. But if we are running the app on Android, the height is going to be, say, somewhere around 275. So what I'm going to do will be to go ahead and copy this variable, So I'm going to scroll down to where we have the height for this particular panel, which is here. So I'm going to go ahead and change this. Now the next thing we need to do is to adjust the map padding as well. So I can easily go ahead and say if platform. So if the platform is Android, so let the padding of the map be somewhat around 280. And if we're running on iOS, we want the padding to be 270. Right, so to verify that all of this works, I'm going to go ahead and restart our application and see how this looks on Android. Okay, so our app is starting, and bam! So as you can see, this is just the appropriate measurement that works both for Android and iOS. So as you can see, the Google icon is showing and some of these tools are showing appropriately too. So with this, we successfully achieved our aim. But to verify that everything is still in order, I'm going to go ahead and test our app again on an iOS simulator. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to go ahead and close our emulator. Then I'm going to go ahead and launch the simulator and test the app again. So as you can see, everything still looks good on iOS. So like I said, that's the beautiful thing about Flutter. It allows you to build beautiful apps targeting both Android and iOS at the same time. So guys, this will be all for now. See you in the next class.